World of Warcraft wouldn't be the game that it is without all of the secrets found throughout it. There are so many secrets, in fact, that there are entire communities dedicated to unraveling them. From small details hidden in plain sight that are references to other things, all the way to massive, multi-expansion, beautiful stories that take hours to complete, I've definitely experienced my fair share of them. And today, I want to go across the world of Azeroth and beyond, and just highlight my top 10 personal favorite secrets that really resonated with me for one reason or another. So let's get started. In the number 10 spot is Riddler's Mind Worm. This is kind of a new entry for me despite it being around for a bit, but I like it a lot, so I just had to throw it on this list. This is a secret mount that is earned through a slightly convoluted method that players originally had to figure out without having too much to go off of. At its core, it is a scavenger hunt across Azeroth. Starting with the Legerdemain Lounge on a bookshelf, you can find the first page, which is titled Page 9. Interacting with this will officially start the scavenger hunt, and you have to find several more pages in order to complete it. The next is in Duskwood in the Twilight Grove. Then you head inside the Firelands, clear through the raid, and find a page near Ragnaros. Staying in Cataclysm, you go near the lost city of the Tol'vir, then into the Siege of Orgrimmar raid in the Shaw Pride Room, then into the Well of Eternity dungeon from the Caverns of Time. Then a page can be found near the Shadowpan Monastery in Kunlai Summit, then once again in Cataclysm, back in Odom near the Halls of Origination. And then upon doing all of this, you can go to the west coast of Westfall to find the Gift of the Mind Seeker, which will give you the Riddler's Mind Worm mount. Just a really cool looking mount that you can get after going to a bunch of places that I personally have a ton of fond memories of, except for the Siege of Orgrimmar one. In the number 9 spot is Cro'akan. I'm going to be honest, I never know if I'm pronouncing random fantasy names that are never spoken correctly, but this is a massive frog that is kind of just a really random hidden secret in the Craftswrong Wilds introduced in the Mists of Pandaria expansion. On a small island, you can find a bunch of different frogs all around here. There's quite a few, and they have a fast respawn rate. This can be a popular spot for people who want to farm critter kills for their guild or personal stats. If you kill enough frogs, and I mean enough because you have to kill a lot, you can get Cro'akan to spawn. This is just a massive frog that doesn't really do all that much, but has an attack called Frog Justice that will instantly kill anybody who is hit by it, truly supplying justice to all of the helpless frogs that you just slaughtered. In short, this is just a crazy little secret that I've always found to be a little insane. In the number 8 spot is a secret that has likely been hiding under many players' noses for a long time, but it is the LFG Angry Eye. A struggle that many players have experienced in their time playing World of Warcraft following the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, especially if you're a DPS player, are long queue times for dungeons and whatnot. I feel like I see a post on Reddit about how long the queue time for Epic Battlegrounds in retail is once a week, and I am honestly just as upset because I love that content. But in retail, if you have ever been sitting in queue and are bored, you can have a little bit of a fun interaction with the LFG Eye. You know, the green eyeball that is looking around and blinking that you can click on and hover over for information related to your queue. If you click on it and repeatedly click on it, it will turn red and start being all angry because of you clicking on it. In the number 7 spot is the Chicken Quest. This is something that I think most people know about, but I have to put it on the spot for its historical presence. There are many different areas where you can experience the secret, but the most common for most people is for human players at the Saldine's farm in Westfall. If you buy some special chicken feed and find an ordinary chicken, just a typical critter that you can find walking around, you can target the chicken and type /chicken. You may have to do this multiple times, but eventually the chicken that you, a random person who is on a quest to save Azeroth or whatever, who has just been clucking at a random chicken nonstop, can interact with the chicken and give it the special chicken feed that you bought. Doing so will let you get a chicken egg that you can interact with to get your very own chicken companion pet. This is a very easy way, especially for Alliance players, to get a very simple companion pet, which you will see a lot of low-level players do, but it's also kind of just a hilarious hidden secret quest in the game. In the number 6 spot are the Lost Vikings. Blizzard has created many games over the years, and one of the earliest games is the Lost Vikings. I played it a little bit and it's not really the game for me, but it's pretty cool where you are controlling 3 separate Vikings and are completing a platformer. A long time later, Blizzard actually added the Lost Vikings to the Heroes of the Storm, a MOBA featuring characters from all their games, and I loved playing as this character a lot. But between the two, all the way back to the original release of Vanilla World of Warcraft, the Lost Vikings actually existed in the game, If you are an Alliance player, you may not really be familiar with them at all, but Horde players have a better chance of realizing that they exist. In the Oldman dungeon, you can find the Lost Dwarves, known as Balog, Eric the Swift, and Olaf, who look like and are direct references to the Lost Vikings. This is just a type of hidden Easter egg in a game that I love a lot, and it is incredible to see to this degree. And the number 5 spot is kind of a weird one, and it is the Dune Morogh dwarf stuck in a tree. This is a hidden detail found in Dune Morogh that I remember stumbling on all the way back when Cataclysm originally released, and I just loved it so much. To this day, whenever I think of hidden details in World of Warcraft, my head just comes straight back to this one. Morogh is the large dungeon and capital city of the gnomes, found in the westernmost part of Dune Morogh. Typically, you enter the dungeon on the ground level and journey through the vast subterranean city, but if you are an explorer and fly up above Morogh, there is a very large area that you can explore without anything too important going on up here. You can find a campsite with some black bears rummaging through it. Nearby is another black bear trying to climb up the tree to get to a dwarf that is stuck up in the tree. But this is just an immense amount of environmental storytelling packed into one tiny area. That, in short, this dwarf was camping here before these bears showed up and scared him up the tree. An immense amount of environmental storytelling that is just hidden in a very random part of Azeroth. In the number 4 spot is the Bloodied Crown. The Bloodied Crown is one of the most important items in the history of Warcraft. This crown was worn by King Tyrannus Menethil II, who was the last true king of Lordaeron. One of the biggest moments in Warcraft history was when his son, the legendary Arthas Menethil, returned from the icy reaches of Northrend, corrupted by Frostmourne, and killed his own father in a legendary cinematic where the crown falls to the ground off Tyrannus' head, bloodied, marking the end of a nation. For most people, the story of the crown ends there, but for lore enthusiasts, there's actually a bit more going on. An unknown group of people who eventually made their way to Stormwind City, presumably refugees of Lordaeron, acquired the crown. They decided to bury the crown on the small island just off the coast of Stormwind that features the lighthouse, marked only with an unreadable gravestone. As someone who loves the Arthas storyline a lot, a continuation in this way is incredible to see, and is hidden in secret in such a nice way. In the number 3 spot is Old Scarlet Monastery. Scarlet Monastery is one of the most legendary dungeons in the history of World of Warcraft. For most people, it is their all-time favorite dungeon, and it is definitely up there for me. Given its popularity, it has been used and reused many times over the course of World of Warcraft. The dungeon was originally introduced in the vanilla version of World of Warcraft, which features 4 different wings, but with the Mists of Pandaria expansion, the dungeon was massively revamped, with the dungeon being combined into a total of 2 different wings, featuring mostly new bosses and loot. I actually like the revamped version of the Scarlet Monastery a decent amount, but I definitely love the original version of Scarlet Monastery a lot. For most people, you can easily experience the original Scarlet Monastery by playing World of Warcraft Classic on the Era servers or any other version of the game before Mists of Pandaria. But in Retail WoW, an ability to access the original Scarlet Monastery was actually eventually added to the game in a little bit of a secret way. You can get the Scarlet Key as a rare random drop from the Headless Horseman, or just buy it for a decent chunk of gold on the auction house. Through the key, you can then go to the Scarlet Monastery and unlock a secret interaction with a hidden keyring to gain access to the original dungeons. In the number 2 spot is a general idea, but it goes to the secrets of Dalaran and Dalaran's Underbelly. Dalaran in general is just a phenomenal city that was used as the capital of both the Wrath Lich King expansion as well as the Legion expansion. Throughout the entire city, there are definitely a bunch of secrets, scavenger hunts, hidden details, Easter eggs, and so on and so forth that add a lot to the city. I love walking the streets and trying to find everything because everything is just so fantastic. But going underneath the city, you can explore the Underbelly, which are the sewers of the city. Just like up top, there are a lot of different secrets, scavenger hunts, hidden details, Easter eggs, and so on found around here as well. But there are 2 achievements in particular that I love a lot. The first is connected to the I Smell a Giant Rat achievement, where you can fish and fish and fish in the Underbelly and eventually fish up a secret giant sewer rat that can be used as a companion pet. In the Legion expansion specifically, you can then do the Underbelly Tycoon achievement. When you are in the Underbelly with there being no guards, you can collect Sightless Eyes through a variety of methods. Upon collecting a total of 20,000 Sightless Eyes, you get the Rat Stallion mount that is just an absolutely incredible mount. But now for the number 1 spot, for my favorite secret in all World of Warcraft, and it just has to go to the Waste of Time. This is one of the biggest secrets in all World of Warcraft, and it's just so incredible. So incredible in fact that I created a 16-minute video detailing how to get this item, which is one of my favorite videos that I have ever created. I'll document it here in short, but the most important thing to know is that the World of Warcraft community had no idea what to do at any step of the process and had to figure everything out together, which is just an incredible feat. It begins with getting Una's doll from the many-faced devourer, which is spawned in a semi-complicated method, and then going on a journey with the ghost of Una and eventually experiencing an absolutely incredible scenario and unlocking Una as an upgraded companion. Then you can go all throughout the world, starting in the Broken Shore, and then going through a bunch of Battle for Azeroth zones to interact with a bunch of tiny little stones that you can barely see in completely random areas in a specific order to then be able to find a little demonic goat named Baal in Frostfire Ridge in Draenor, who you can weaken with an upgraded Una. Then after all that, you can go across the entire world again and interact with 20 different random things and random parts of random maps. You can then go to the incredible hidden dwarven farm off the coast of Arathi and chat with Grimmy, equip a very specific outfit, chat with Grimmy again, go to 4 random NPCs, do a specific random emote, give them a specific random item, return to Grimmy again, interact with a note, go outside and find a rotten potato, interact with that rotten potato 144 times, yes, 144, no more and no less. Then talk to Grimmy again to then finally be able to open Grimmy's Rust lockbox and get the incredible reward of a single random belt transmog known as the Waste of Time. Absolutely phenomenal. You have to spend hours going across Azeroth, collecting and doing random things just to get one singular item. In all honesty, this is one of my favorite things in all World of Warcraft, but it's also just one of the craziest things ever added to the game, and the fact that we know how to do this is a testament to the secret hunting community. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. I always love secrets in video games, and World of Warcraft is a game that is just filled to the brim with secrets. As I've said, these particular secrets are ones that I just enjoy a lot because they personally resonate with me, and many other people have many other ones that they prefer that I would love to see down in the comments. I hope y'all are taking great care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.